Sonal Verma, India economist at Nomura, as we said, Johnson right now to put all of this into perspective and give our view as well. Sonal, really good having you, more so since we celebrate 4 years of the existence of ET now. Thanks for joining in. The bigger question and the obvious one you would have guessed, what happened to the rupee? I mean, do you think the markets were looking for a reason and that came in from what the comments were made by the Fed yesterday? Because we thought that these were broadly anticipated.
Well, I think, after Bernanke's testimony last month, there were fears that QE taper would begin soon, which is why emerging markets in general have been correcting for some time now. But yesterday's press conference, yesterday's FOMC statement and the projections that the Fed has put out basically confirm what the market had feared. Actually, there was an element of surprise yesterday. People were expecting, for instance, our team in the US, our baseline view is that QE will start getting tapered from end of the third quarter. But we were not expecting an explicit statement from the Fed saying that, the taper would begin by end of this year and finish by middle of 2014. So the clarity with which the Fed has put out its projections clearly says that they are thinking about this very actively now, and they have a timeline in mind. So I think that has come as a surprise. For a country like India, which is running a big current account deficit, which was getting amply financed by flows over the last, at least a year, if not more, if this liquidity tap reverses, then clearly there are concerns, and that is basically what is getting reflected here, whether the tap really gets closed or not.
Right, but what can be done in terms of arresting the fall in the rupee? Because we did hear about some intervention from the RBI at about 59, 50 odd levels. But if the pressure is coming in and the broad trade globally is long dollar, then do you think that the fall in the currency cannot be helped?
I think if it is a broad trend across EM, as you said, it'll be very difficult to put a line in the sand saying, currency should not move above a certain level. RBI has the reserves to come in and, intervene to stem the volatility. But our reserves just about, they cover 4 months of import cover and, the amount of short-term debt that is coming up for repayment over the next 12 months. So the reserves that we have are just about enough for that. So, it's unlikely that RBI will come very aggressively to intervene to prevent, to basically try to reverse a trend right now. I think the focus should be on more fundamental issues that we are facing as a country, which is the reason why our current account deficit is so high, issues on, high oil imports, high coal imports, the fall in iron ore exports that we have seen, why is gold demand so high? Clearly it's partly a hedge against inflation. These are some of the fundamental issues that we need to be fixing right now. There can be some measures that can be announced, to stem the volatility in the rupee. But I think we should be focusing on fundamental reforms, one in terms of encouraging more long-term financing into the country rather than focusing on short-term debt capital, which we've seen they are, they can be extremely fickle. And second, addressing the supply side issues that we have, whether it's on gas or coal or power, because ultimately a lot of this is feeding into our current account deficit as well. And that's, I think, where the focus has to be right now.
Right, but where does that leave the downside risk to the rupee? Because as we just discussed, if the broad trend is a higher dollar, how much more downside would you give to the rupee?
Well, I think it's anyone's guess, and it's extremely hazardous to put a level number right now. If the trend is broad dollar strength against all emerging markets, then rupee cannot be an exception, given that we have such a high current account deficit. So I think to that extent, we are still extremely vulnerable on the external sector. But like I said, I think domestically we should be putting our house in order right now. The fact of the matter is that since September last year, the government has started taking some measures to address, the issues that we have in the country. We have had in the last 2-3 years. Obviously, none of this is going to lead to a quick turnaround. So I think we are in for some volatile times in the short term. But I think if we can use this opportunity to push through some tough reform measures, then India will come out stronger out of this. But right now, I think we are extremely vulnerable on the external front.
Yeah, I mean, which was going to be my next question. You kind of preempted it, because a lot of these measures, even if they are announced, and accepted, would essentially have impact only after 12 months. So, Sonal, my next question would be, considering what the rupee has done, there is talk of, there has been, of course, some price hikes on the fuel side that have been taken, talks of more hikes coming in too. Do you think, if not the next month, then the month after next, we may actually see inflation starting to maybe peak up a little bit again? And if that happens, would that be a trend, or could it just be a couple of months because of fuel price hikes and the currency?
Well, the currency depreciation will start to play an impact within, probably next month or two. And our estimate is every 10% depreciation is about 60 to 80 basis point increase in WPI inflation. Perhaps it starts to happen from July, August readings onwards. But, bear in mind that all this pressure is happening, is basically putting a lot of downward pressure on demand in India. So pricing power may not be as strong. So we have to keep an eye out on this. One of the things that has been worrying is that while currency was weakening over the last 1 month, commodity prices actually have been very stable. So in INR terms, commodity price inflation is picking up. So if this trend continues, then we probably still see some, moderation in inflation in the next quarter. But I think thereafter there is some risk that the inflation numbers also could start to turn higher. But, it depends a lot on how global commodities pan out. As of now, we are not seeing a big uptick in commodities. But if commodities start picking up, because ultimately QE taper is happening because growth is picking up in the US. So if that also leads to, oil and other commodity prices rising, as well as currency depreciation, then yes, I think inflation trajectory will start also shifting higher. But I think, more than the focus on inflation, the focus has to be on the exchange rate, because more than price stability, financial stability is a very big concern right now.
How much do you read into this move as a part speculative?
Well, I think the weakness we've seen in India is broadly in line with, what's happening in most emerging market economies, and especially emerging market economies with a high current account deficit. So I don't think this is an India-specific problem. This is an EM sell-off. Countries which have a high current account deficit have seen more of currency weakness, and I think broadly the weakness we've seen in India is in line with that trend. I don't think this is India-specific.
59.84 now, so the intervention helping for a wee bit, maybe an hour. And we're just talking about, Sonal was just saying that I don't think, that she doesn't think that the RBI would come in and stand in the way if indeed the trend is downwards, and that's what's happening right now. Despite the said intervention, we're back to those 59.84 kind of levels, knocking on the doors of 60. This isn't too pleasant for the currency for sure. Sonal, the other bit would be, despite measures being taken on the gold side, so on and so forth, the situation on the trade deficit isn't improving, and at 20.1 or 20.2, that the figures that came out last, we're pretty much amongst the highest in terms of the numbers of the trade deficit for the last 16 months. I've seen figures of 20.5, 20.6, but that's pretty much amongst the highest. What happens next? Gold prices coming off, still these numbers don't improve. Does the situation stay gloomy?
Well, I think to an extent this May deficit is exaggerating the underlying problem, because, one, you had seasonality. Typically May sees a sharp surge in the trade deficit numbers. It's seasonal. And second, $8.5 billion in gold import in May was quite substantial. Now, from what we are hearing and reading, gold imports have seen a dramatic decline in the month of June. And obviously seasonal patterns will vary going forward as well. So, there should be a reversal on the trade deficit front in June, and perhaps going forward as well. Because, domestic demand is very weak. So if you look at the non-oil, non-gold part of imports, they are very, very weak. So if you have domestic demand weak, gold imports also coming off, with, of course, exports sort of stagnant. Trade deficit numbers will remain high, but I don't think $20 billion kind of numbers are sort of exaggerating the real underlying picture. But having said that, I think, we need to start focusing on the financing on the current account deficit. Even if the current account deficit comes down going forward, which is possible, financing the deficit can be difficult because, at a 4% or 4.5% current account deficit, we are still talking about a deficit which is in excess of, $85 billion. And in this global environment where, we are talking about potential liquidity withdrawal, risk premiums getting compressed, there can be a risk on capital flows into India. So even with a lower current account deficit, financing can be a problem. And I think that's something we are seeing in the month of June. While gold imports have come down, rupee is still depreciating, which means that, there's actually some capital outflow from the country. So I think, therefore, currency still remains vulnerable, even if the current account deficit comes down, because I think financing is the problem as of now, at least in the short term.